Still here? What's the matter? Can't handle what I'm throwing your way?
Hardly, Nazir. Astrid wanted me to see you about some more work.
Well then, your timing couldn't be better. As it turns out, I've got 2 new contracts. One rather easy assignment, and another that should prove quite a challenge.
Really?
Your first target is an orc bard named Lurbuk. The other is a vampire by the name of Hearn. Happy hunting.
Really? Tell me about Lurbuk first.
He is, by all accounts, the worst bard in all of Skyrim.
That isn't saying much.
Apparently, so many people sought his death, Astrid had to hold a lottery to determine the client.
Okay. Tell me about Hearn then, the vampire.
He's a vampire, and has blended into human society for years. He's never far from his female companion, Hurt, also a vampire. The contract is for the male Hearn, but you'll probably have to contend with the female, too.
Oh, wonderful.
So for Sithis' sake, watch yourself.
2 bloodsuckers. Great.
You've got people to kill, my friend. Best get to it.
Okay, well I would like to go and find our own little vampire first. I mean, if anyone's going to help out, you would think it would be her. What is good against vampires? You gotta be careful with these things. I mean, there's a lot of myths and stories about what you can do to kill different creatures. But you gotta be careful picking the ones that aren't really myths, who better basis on fact. Looking very silly. They're looking very silly very briefly, because then they kill you. But I don't know. I don't know how the young lady will feel about killing some of her own kind. Probably she won't be bothered. Ah, finally I found the young lady, resting on her slab.
It's been quite a boon, looking like a child. No one ever suspects a thing.
Well, that's a shame. But while we're here, what are your thoughts on the Night Mother and
200
Cicero?
years ago, I would have lain down my life for the unholy matron. But that age is long since past. Astrid is my matron now.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So well and often.
She has not turned yet to Cicero purely. At least she's not telling me that. Okay, well I'll go and... No one else particularly wants to talk to me right now and help me out with this. I'm going to ask Astrid and see what she thinks about this, what help she might better offer. We're dealing with vampires. Have I been in here before? I'm not sure. Oh, Cicero's journal. How interesting. Volume 3, Volume 4. You have so many journals, Cicero. 18th of Evening Star, 40186. As I begin this new phase of my life, I decided to finally keep a journal. So much has happened to me thus far, born within the Brotherhood and without. I think there is no record of what has transpired, it almost seems an affront to Sithis himself, so I'm determined to make amends. Yes, the Dark Brotherhood has its own scribes and chroniclers, but it is their solemn task to record those events deemed important to the organisation as a whole. Let this volume serve as the personal record of one man, a lowly assassin who has pledged his blade and his life for the Dark Brotherhood. I have arrived safely in the Chadenal Sanctuary, and I have been greeted warmly by Rasha and the others. Indeed, the level of support and acceptance shown by my new family is rather overwhelming. For this sanctuary no suffering, no sorrow, for the ghosts of purification still haunt its halls, so who better to understand the plight of a brother who has lost home and heart? Who better to comfort one whose sanctuary is no more? The Bruma Sanctuary may be gone, but my dearest brothers and sisters will live forever in my dreams, just as their souls live forever by the dread father's side. Completed the Baroness contract. She died well, her handmaiden less so. Chadenhall suits me. With the destruction or abandonment of the other sanctuaries, our contracts are plentiful, as are bonuses. Still, we seem to be losing our footholds throughout Tamriel at an alarming rate. There are rumours that the Black Hand is split on our continued direction. Some thread for expansion, the others consolidation. My personal feeling is that the Dark Brotherhood needs to, at the very least, maintain the illusion of being everywhere at once. It has become exceedingly difficult to fulfill or even establish contracts in provinces where we no longer have a physical presence, like Hammerfell. The more we ignore Tamriel, the more people lose faith in the Dark Brotherhood, our power, our services, our dedication to the Void. The listener, Alizanne Dupre, has been visiting with us for several days, down from her private residence in Bravil. She and Rasha have been discussing the possibility of reopening the Shadow Scale training facility of Archon in Blackmarsh, but ultimately decided we lacked the resources to follow through with the plan. Completed the arena contract, I ultimately decided to pose as a starstruck fan, and immediately got into the Grand Champion's good graces. While escorting the arrogant fool through the great forest, I slashed his throat and left the corpse for the bears. You have an interesting journal, Cicero, but I think that's all I'm going to read for now. I need to go and talk to Astrid. Astrid.
Please, not now. You'll know when I'm ready to discuss the issue.
Oh, I was going to ask you about vampires. Damn. Well, okay, I have had some busy days, so I'm going to rest up for a while, and then find out where I'm heading off to next. And I think maybe a trip into the misery of Falkreath might be in order, to resupply myself before I head out again. Hello dear viewer, I'm Lee Sass, welcome back to Skyrim. There's of course not my usual introduction to Skyrim, because I usually stay in character for these things, but I've been having some problems. Finally back into Skyrim after however long, and getting some crashes. So I've taken Belweneth out to the first of her new targets, which was Hearn, I think his name is, a vampire, out at Half Moon Mill. This is where I am now. It's not very far north of the Dark Brotherhood. Trouble was, daggers. I think it's the daggers that are causing the problem. He was standing on the bridge over here. Actually, where is he? He's fallen in the water. He fallen in the water. Where is the poor man? Where is the poor blood-sucking monster? He's falling down here somewhere. Where is he? His axe is here. Where is he? All his stuff. He's fallen in the water down here somewhere, and oh god, that's not good. And he was on the bridge, rather. Is he floating over here? That's a salmon. No, thank you. Where's he gone? There he is. Hello, Hearn. I'm just talking about you, mate. Oh no, thank you. Venison chop. But when this is very much a vegetarian. So, yeah, he was on the bridge here, and I was throwing daggers at him. I even had the flaming torch weapons. And after a certain number of hits, it would crash. I've had this once before, and I think it's the daggers. The daggers work by, if I haven't explained this before, they become a spell, essentially, when you throw them. And then when they land, they become an object again, which allows you to pick them back up again. And I think it's causing crashes in the game. So it may be, as much as I like the throwing daggers, I may have to get rid of them if this Let's Play continues, just because of that. But I've finished looting. Well, that sounds nice, even though it's from a vampire. I'll finish looting this, and I'll go back to being the none too socially well-adjusted elf in a minute after that. But I wanted to let you know what was going on and why I've sort of skipped a bit and you haven't seen anything. Lovely. Okay, what we'll do, I'm going to go and loot. Boeth is dead. Instead of going to loot someone's house over here. She has no consideration about that, whether they're vampires or not. So we'll go and loot in here, and then we'll continue with the Let's Play as per normal, if that's okay with you. And welcome back, by the way, if you've just come back to seeing me uploading Skyrim after so very long. Let's go to that. Let's go and kill some poor innocent orc bard, who's done nothing more wrong other than being terrible at his job. Well, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to expect from going into a vampire's house. Maybe, I don't know, bodies on the walls. I have no idea what sort of thing vampires do. I mean, they've got a lot of raw meat around here, which is and some potatoes. Maybe vampires don't just suck blood. Maybe they do other things as well. I hadn't ever given it much thought, to tell you the truth. But gold. This is a little worrying. A girl's dress. I mean, they haven't been feasting on passers-by. Maybe they have. Maybe they do that most of the time. What's this? Frostbite spider venom sounds like a terrible idea. Maybe it isn't a bad idea. Let's have a quick. Not much of a reader, but I'll take this with me. Maybe we can read that later. But a light bedtime reading. How to harvest venom from spiders. I guess stage 1 is make sure you've got a dead spider. I'll tell you the truth though, we've got that horrible creepy spider pet in the Dark Brotherhood. I don't know who it belongs to. Does it belong to the little girl, the vampire girl? I can't remember. Maybe it does. That's a good question. Oh, hello cow. Yeah. Okay. So that was not too bad. Now, I guess the next thing is to work out. Well, let's first of all get myself changed back out of my assassin's gear after getting rid of the bloodsuckers, and then work out the best route to get to wherever the heck this bard is. Is that someone over there? I can't quite see. Well, not very far from the Dark Brotherhood. I might just head back there, actually. I mean, I can't even catch it. I can't catch it. That's unfortunate. We feed you into the logger. Throw this lever, is that how you do it? Are we feeding a vampire into the chipper? Into the shredder? Unfortunately not. But never mind. I can't even catch a cart from Falkreath because Falkreath doesn't have carts apparently. You can go there but you can't leave there again. Having been in Falkreath for a while, I'm not really surprised. But I think the best thing to do is to get back to the Dark Brotherhood as soon as possible before anyone sees me in my gear, and to then remind myself. I'll go and talk to Nazim again and remind myself where on earth this useless orc bard is, and then find the quickest and most painless way to get there, and then put him out of everybody else's misery.
We need to talk.
Oh, Astrid, what's going on here? I was only going to come back and talk to Nazim about where to go next for the next quest, deal with the orc, but... Okay, of course, Astrid. What is it?
Look, something is happening here. I'm not sure entirely what that something is, but... well, we need to find out. If the Night Mother really did give you an order to talk to a contact, we'd be mad to ignore it.
Oh, yes?
And I think we'd both agree. Cicero's brought quite enough madness to this sanctuary. So go. Go to Vollenrude. It's a crypt, pretty far to the northeast. Talk to this Armand Motier, and let's see where all this leads,
Well, I was planning on going and doing that anyway, Astrid, whether you gave me your blessing or not, but... Okay, let's, I'm not going to do that just yet. First I need to find out where on earth I'm going to next for my normal contracts. I'm in no rush to find out how this Motier is. Well, look at this. Here I am on the road up to Morthal, which is apparently where this orc is staying. That's about as much information as Nazir could give me. I'll have to sniff around when I get up there. I was just thinking what a long way that is to travel. And here we have the chance to try my hand at riding. It's a very fine looking horse here, much as I know about it. Maybe not. It wasn't the greatest experience last time going on a horse. Stick to what I know. Send off the road. Ah, well, there you go. I didn't see that man. He was clearly off in the trees somewhere. He didn't seem too bothered about me admiring his horse. Probably a good thing that I didn't try to grab it, though. with an arrow in my back. I've wandered off the path already, haven't I, really? Look, I'm by this lake again. Yeah, I'm going to head up past, oh goodness. I wish to fighting skeletons, thank you very much. Where did that come from? Let's just keep moving. See if your old bones can keep up with me, pal. That's a wolf. The wolf and the skeleton would like to get along. Neither of them, oh my goodness, neither of them wanted to kill me. Let's keep moving. Am I faster than the wolf? I appear to be. Come along here by the vampires. Dead vampires. Come and feast on them instead. Have I lost the wolf and the skeleton? Looks like I have. Oh, let's slow things down a bit. Yes, I'm back to being I could have dealt with a wolf, of course, but I didn't want the skeleton on my tail as I was trying to do so. I'm playing the normal weary traveller as usual here. Being the best way to get by. It's a long way north. Hopefully I'll find somewhere to stop. It's been a long day so far, an early start to deal with the vampires. Well, I like to travel in the early hours. Okay. I've got my breath back, let's get moving again. I wouldn't mind somewhere to stop along the way. But we'll see what I find. This is little more than a dirt track here. I find it slightly worrying that none of the markers in this signpost point towards Mortal. Do I risk heading across the wilderness? It's just this way. It's just north from here. And the sun's going to set soon, and I'll be I'll have no little to navigate by. Apparently you can navigate by the stars. That's what I'd heard. Although how you might do that, I haven't a clue. So I don't want to... Is that another wolf? It is. It's two wolves. Ow. It's nipping at my heels. I should be fine. That's a mammoth. What do you think a mammoth thinks about wolves? Let's head past here and give them the slip, shall we? Oh, it's a whole encampment of giants. That's an interesting looking tree. Very mystical, I'm sure. Let's not bother the unmystical giants while we're here, though. What elf I may be. I'm not particularly interested in the nature side of things. Yeah. I don't seem too bothered. What do I do about this mountain? I go to the east of the mountain or the west of the mountain? Let's go to the west of the mountain, because why not? That looks a little ominous. Well, I have no interest in the gods, and the divines have very little interest in me. But I wonder if there's anything to loot around here. People do love to leave things around altars. Ah, very nice. Who's this to? I can't tell. Have the goblet as well. Is that Zenithar? I think it might be. Thank you, Zenithar. Aren't you the... I'll take your book as well, thank you. Are you the divine of wealth? Well, in that case you don't mind sharing a bit with me, do you? Well, isn't this nice? Someone's got a little house in the middle of nowhere. Someone's home, because I can see smoke from the chimney. Would they be interested in looking after a poor, weary traveller? Stuck out on the road, night has fallen. Very nice. Not so nice. Let's get out of here, shall we? We're not welcome. I guess that is a cursory lesson in that. Which is that if someone lives in the middle of nowhere, because they're quite capable of looking after themselves. Okay. Maybe I'll spend the night out in the wilds instead. Sounds like a great idea. In the snow, with no lightning bolts flying past my ears. Bit of a snap reaction, wasn't it, really? It's like coming to his house. I didn't even get a chance to say hello. Never mind. Now, this is what you might call a bit of a situation. I've been trying to get over the mountainside here. I don't think Morthal is too far north, but something's waiting for me down here, and I can't really get back up the hill very easily. It's too slippery. They do appear to have eaten someone already, but I'm not sure that a bear wouldn't mind having a little snack afterwards as well. There's not a lot on me. Nothing more than a chicken wing, probably, as far as the bear is concerned. But also, I wouldn't mind looting that body that's down there. That might sound foolhardy, but you never know. And I'm getting steadily colder and colder. But I don't really want to get warmer by being on the inside of a bear. Now, how much have I looked around here? Have I lost where the bear and the bear corpse are? Was it up here? If I'm heading back towards a bear. It's maybe too steep anyway for me to get up. There's the bear. It's definitely a live bear. He shuffled around earlier and made some noises. He's quite happily asleep over there. Who is this poor soul with a dagger cast by their side? A hunter who has been hunted. Some butter. A bear pelt? Well, maybe you were taking on the bear, I don't know. Various things that I don't want. Okay. Let us leave the hunter and the hunter behind. And here is Morthal. I've no idea what the place is like, but it's a very welcome sight. What I want to do right now is find an inn and some warm mead and a pleasant sleep between sheets.